This is chapter number 5, Rulers and Buildings. So here are certain pictures, and these all pictures are related to the questions we are talking about. There are certain extra also. So whenever the question requires, we'll come back here to these pictures. And as I said, all these are somewhere related to all the content which we learned in the question. So we'll try to summarize everything here in the form of question answer. Large stepped wells were called large stepped wells. So if you talk about a normal well, what do it mean? It means there is a part or a pit surrounded by some wall, round wall, and inside that we have water, and we can just take out water with some bucket, etc. But these large step wells will have certain steps like this, and below we have water here. So a person can go there, it can be clean easily, and this is when, especially when the water comes, rainwater. So kind of rainwater harvesting technique, you can say, means getting the water. So this is baudi in a slang word, but in normal word, baulis. The baulis were constructed. So as I just suggested, that this rainwater harvesting, because this has a large area as compared to this wells. So we have these seediya steps, and we have this structure. So here we have this water, and whenever anybody want, they can just take and use this water. So this is for rainwater harvesting. They were constructed. This is one of the reasons. The surface of the Qutub Minar is. So let us see the picture first. This is the Qutub Minar, and the surface, if you see, it's a curve. It's like if you just draw a line, it will be a circle. So it's a curved and angular. Why it is angular? You can see the strips. So it's first of all curved, and then it is angled also. And one more thing, that this is tapered. Tapered means the width decreases as we go up, and there are 5 towers here, or you can say 5 levels. 5 levels. So this is curved also and angular also, curved and angular. So this is the outer strip which has come out. So these strips you can see out from outside, and these are angular. Superstructure was the term given to. So superstructure, now a structure, what does it mean when we say super? So at that time, the part of the building above the ground floor. Previously there were no multi stories like that. No, so it will be 1 or 2 story, 3 story, maybe not more than that. So a ground floor, and then whatever it is above, and that also the ground floor has to be very large, very large. So this kind of formation is superstructure. What is shikhar? What is shikhar? So in the context of this discussion, in this shikhar, if you talk about North India and South India, in North India, we talk about shikhar. So I'll show you in the picture also. Wherever there is a temple and the main deity is placed, main Bhagwan, God is placed, that particular area, that particular part, it is elevated, or there is a shikhar being made. The structure should be seen different from others. So the topmost pointed portion of a temple, you will see, and you will see that, okay, this is the topmost structure, this is where deity will be there. In South India, we call it as shikhar also and viman also. Shikhar and viman. In North India, it's Nagar architecture. In South India, we have Dravid architecture. Now I'll show you the picture also so that you understand well. because there may be other questions on this. So these questions, there are certain questions coming on these also. So this is a Kandariya Mahadev temple, Kandariya Mahadev temple, and this was being made by Chandela dynasty Dhangadev. So here is the entry, and there is a mandap where people would gather, and this is the part where deity will be put. Pratima, Akriti, Shiv, Lord Shiv, because this is a Shiv temple, Mahadev temple. So this is the highest peak, if you see, highest structure peak. And if you come down, this is the South India structure. This is a Raj Raja. Raj Raja, you see, this is a Viman or a Shikhar. And again a pointed structure for the deity which is placed here in the Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha. So this is also called Viman. And this size, if you see the Shikhar, it's twice. That is, Rajarajeshwara temple is, the Shikhar is twice as compared to the Dhangadev or the Kandariya Mahadev Mandir. And these were very big boulders, and there was a proper 4-kilometer path, and there is a proper Charupalam village which says village of the incline. That is how that big boulders are brought in and put it on this huge structure over the Garbhagriha. From 4 kilometer away it is being called. So Shikhar and Viman. Now Dhangadev was the king of. Now you might have realized this Dhangadev was a king of. So here see, let me just expand it. And this has been taken from this content is taken from the chapter Dhangadev, and he was from Chandel dynasty. You might have heard about Khajuraho temple. So this is one of the part of Khajuraho complex only. Kandariya Mahadev, Chandel dynasty. So the answer is Chandel dynasty, Chandela dynasty or Chandel dynasty. The temples and mosques were beautifully constructed because at that time, when we are talking about 8 to 18, so at this time, in these centuries, these mandirs, these temples and these masjids, actually these are tombs and maqbara, and these are temples. So at this time there are different mosques and masjids were being made, like Jama Masjid, etc. And this is Somnath Mandir. So the reason was, Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e Aam is also there. So the main reason was all of these. Why? Because these were the place of worship. The kings were also interested. They were taking special interest. So these were the place of worship. And they wanted to, because they wanted to relate themselves with the king, this deity. They want to demonstrate the power and wealth also. So that is how they will put very precious material like gold and silver, etc. in the temple or the different parts of the temple, maybe say entrance, etc. And there also is a meaning to demonstrate the devotion of kings. For example, the Chol king, he also went to different places and destroyed the temples. Mahmud Ghaznavi also did this. He also destroyed temples like Somnath temple in order to get all the important and expensive material from there. So all of these answers are correct here. All of these is correct. Which Pandyan king invaded Sri Lanka? So Pandyan king who invaded Sri Lanka, let me show the picture. It's not very clear, but this is what I got. Let me just expand it. So here you see, he is Shrimar Shivallabh, and he is the king from Pandyan regime, and this other one is Sri Sena, and he is from Sri Lanka. So he is Sena 1, and all the, mainly the monasteries and Buddha, gold Buddha, they took. So this is Shrimar, he is Shrimar Shri Vallabh. He is the king of that time, means Sri Lankan king, but we are talking about Pandyan king. So Sri Lankan is Sena 1 and the Pandyan king is Srimar Vallabh. The Sena 2, he took the revenge and he sent his general to take all the things back which this Srimar Vallabh has taken from them. Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e-Aam courts were also described as Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e-Aam. So let me show you the picture. If you see, this is Diwan-e-Aam and Diwan-e Khas. Diwan-e-Aam is where the normal public would come and the king and other people will interact with them. So this is how a very wide open area. This is the 40 pillar architecture I am showing you. And Diwan-e Khas is especially the king and the ministers. They will come and they will have a meeting or discussion. Diwan-e Khas is specifically for the Khas people, special people, or the Abhijat or the noble, and Diwan-e-Aam is for everyone. Everyone can come here. So now Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e-Aam courts were called as Chihal Sutun. 40 pillars also, no? 40 pillars architecture. This is Chihal. The name I told you, Chihal Sutun. The riverfront garden was the another name of. Riverfront garden was the another name of. Now here is a river. We are talking about Yamuna river here. And here is the house. And we have the front of the house facing the garden. So this is the riverfront garden and this is called Char Bagh or Chahar Bagh. Char Bagh, Char means 4. That is why this is Chahar Bagh or Char Bagh. Riverfront garden. So this also has, because it is not Bawadi, it is not reservoir, it is not house, so it has to be Char Bagh. So we have Char Bagh is specially, a area which is bounded by the walls, and inside it is divided into square parts or rectangular parts, square and rectangular parts. These are having water, Nehar, and these are different parts, 4 parts here. 4 means, Char means 4. Now this Bawadi, reservoir, house are referring to some other thing. Akbar's capital was at. Where was the Akbar's capital? Now Akbar, they were changing. Akbar, Agra, then also Shah Jahan has Agra, then Delhi, then the Fatehpur Sikri. So everyone has different. Shah Jahanabad also created Shah Jahanabad. That is the old Delhi right now. Fatehpur Sikri, as I said. So they have different capitals. Akbar's capital was Agra. Fatehpur Sikri architecture was influenced by the styles of which region? So Fatehpur Sikri architecture, I don't have a picture, but you can see about Diwan-e-Aam kind of structure. I'll just draw it also. So this structure, Diwan-e-Aam, I'll just show you what kind of structure we are talking about. It has come from Gujarat. How? If these are the pillars and it is supporting, the supporting is this rock, this kind of rock. Okay, this kind of rock. So this architecture is, Fatehpur Sikri's architecture is influenced by Gujarat architecture. If you see and go to Gujarat, you will see the structures are like this only. Okay, so this is cross fertilization kind of, or fusing of or mending of different architectures. Now let me match it here. So let me tell you one or two of these. For example, you say Hawz-e-Sultani. Who made it? It was made by Sultan Iltutmish. Then Dhammakitti, he was a monk. He was a chronicler and he was from Sri Lanka. So he was Buddhist also. He was a Buddhist monk, and I told you he wrote about this King Sena I of Sri Lanka. He was Buddhist monk, Bodh Bhikshu. And then Hasht Bihasht, 40 pillared hall, Jama Masjid. And Jama Masjid is directly related. to what it is being seen here. But so let me just let me combine it together. So we have Jama Masjid, 40 pillar hall also I showed you, and this is 40 Agra fort is of Akbar, and Chihil Sultan is 40 Sutun is 40 pillared hall. Now let me show a picture here also. Jama Masjid. This is Shahjahanabad. Now this Shahjahanabad, if you see, this is the map of Shahjahanabad. It's basically Old Delhi. If you have gone to Old Delhi, this is the Shahjahanabad, and this is Raja's Mahal, etc. This is the Jama Masjid, and here we have Yamuna River. So here you can see also the Charbagh architectures also from here you see Shahjahanabad. So we'll relate Jama Masjid with Shah Jahan. Hawza Sultani, as I said, it's related to Iltutmish. So here map, it's these Delhi Sultans have made Siri and Jahanpana and Delhi Kohna. But Hawza Sultani is, or there is one more Hawza Shamsi. So this is being made by Iltutmish. Dhammakirti, as I said, he was a Buddhic monk. Hasht Bihasht is 8 paradises. Now this word has come from where? Let me take you to the Humayun tomb. Humayun ka Maqbara. So here we have Humayun's tomb. Humayun's Maqbara here. Here we have, we have different architectures here. First of all, the Gumbaj was, the size was increased, and the entry was very mehrabdar, very, very peculiar. And one center room was surrounded by 8 different rooms. So one room or one center was 8 room, and that is called Hasht Bihasht. 8 paradises. Every room is for paradise, 8 Swarg. Now fill in the blanks. The Dash temple at Tanjavur had tallest Shikhara. Tallest. So let me tell you again also. As being very, very seen here, and also I told you, Rajarajeshwara temple, tallest Shikhara. Dash did not claim to be the incarnation of God. Hindus, what we have learned in this chapter is they were saying that they are incarnation of God. But Muslims were not saying it, because Muslims only there is one God, and in Hindus we have 30 crores God. So Muslim sultans were not claiming that they are incarnation, but some people say that they are shadows of God. They wrote like this. King Sena of Sri Lanka was defeated by whom? Now let me show you to the picture also. We are talking about here. So the answer is Pandyan king or Pandyan ruler Shrimar Shri Vallabh. So King Sena was being defeated by Shrimar Vallabh. Shrimar Vallabh was Pandyan king. Sena 1 was this Sri Lankan king, and his next one, that is Sena 2, was also from Sri Lanka, and he came back to fight or take out this content. Idea of construction of Dash was described by Babar in his autobiography. Babar's autobiography is called as Babarnama. So this is Charbagh. Charbagh means 4 portion area. 4 portion area divided by water bodies or water canals. And this is Charbagh, this is Charbagh, this is Charbagh. All the architecture you see here has this Charbagh, these 4 portions. So we have this, if you go to Shalimar or Nishad, you will not have 4 portions. There are multiple portions, but it's called Charbagh technique or architecture of making the gardens, etc. Because these tombs, etc., or Taj Mahal have the gardens. The Pitra Dura work on the emperor throne depicts the Greek god Dash playing the flute. Now I'll just show you, it's very small. So let me take you here. So if you haven't gone there, it will be difficult to comprehend. So this is the Pitra Dura. Pitra Dura, this is where the Raja will sit. Now in the throne where he used to sit, on the back of it, you have this Pitra Dura. There is a marble, and you have different type of chips embedded into it, different colors, and this is a famous peacock throne. and Sinhasan. And here you see in the center there is a picture. There is a picture of a Greek god Veena baja rahe hain. A lute. He is playing a lute. And he is playing a flute. In Pitadura it is seen behind the emperor throne. And that is the Greek god, Unani god, Greek god. And he is playing the lute also. So what is the name? Orpheus. Orpheus. And it is being said that whenever he used to play this flute, lute actually it is, not flute. It's Veena. So all the, dangerous animals will come together and live together. So this was the speciality that the king will do, justified decisions. Shah Jahan constructed a city. Now let me take you here. So we have already seen this. This is a map of Shahjahanabad or 1850. Shahjahanabad. So Shah Jahan constructed a new city, Shahjahanabad. That is the old Delhi right now. Now true false? Kandaria Mahadev temple dedicated to Shiva was constructed by the Cholas. Now that's wrong. It's being clearly said that this is by Dhangadeva of Chandel dynasty. So false. Persian chroniclers described the Sultan as the shadow of God. And this is correct. At that time, those Farsi people who are writing the Vrittant or chroniclers, they are not saying that Sultan is a god, but they are saying that they are shadow of God. Qutub Minar was constructed in 1119 by Humayun. And that's wrong. Humayun is not there. Let me show you here once again. If you see in picture also, this is Qutubuddin Aibak. There was a Sufi also whose name starts with Qutub. So his name is also, we indicate his name. But the first floor is created or constructed by Qutubuddin Aibak. He was a slave left by Muhammad Ghori in Delhi. And the other floors are constructed by Sultan Iltutmish. And then we have Firoz Shah, etc. The other people came. And they also repaired this Qutub Minar. It's a heritage, UNESCO heritage. It's a very important place and very beautiful place. If you want to see, you'll see the Ashoka's pillar, iron pillar also. Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni attacked the temple of Somnath many times. This is true. I'll show you here. Now Mahmud Ghaznavi or Sultan Mahmud, they are same people. So he came to India because he knew that all the wealth, gold, etc. and various precious material is there only in the temple. In the south also we have seen Rajendra also attacked and destroyed many temples. Here also Mahmud Ghaznavi, he destroyed and took out all the wealth from here. So this is Somnath temple, specifically talking about Somnath temple because Somnath temple was quite rich. And he came and he did it multiple times. During Akbar time, different elements of Mughal architecture were fused together. Now this question is quite unclear as per the chapter. But this is false. I am taking it as a false because mainly Shah Jahan is discussed. So this is Shah Jahan. Okay. Because Akbar time we do see some blend or fusing of different. If you see Fatehpur Sikri, we have just talked about their architecture of different regime. There is a mixture. But if you talk about the chapter, the idea comes out is Shah Jahan. So we make it false because actually think the blending and mixing, that is the cross fertilization, started with this Shah Jahan. Taj Mahal was a mausoleum in white marble. So mausoleum, that is a structure which is elevated from the ground, and this is also a Maqbara. Basically it's a graveyard of Mumtaz Mahal. So let me show you in the picture. You'll see that it is being elevated, and let me enlarge it. You see the base, it's being elevated. That is how we call it as a mausoleum. So this is absolutely true. So this is all about question and answer of this topic. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.